One of the best ways to understand something, and as a consequence to learn it, is to explain it, which seems like a pretty straightforward thing. However, every now and again I have a problem with articulating things in my own words. I think that the main issue here is accuracy. So the question is how to remain truthful to information while using your own words to describe it. So here's the process that I use to resolve that. First of all, I always put my explanations into writing, and this helps my thoughts become clearer, but also my explanations be cleaner. Second thing, I would always try to do at least two things. First is to paraphrase the main idea using my own words, meaning I avoid any technical jargon, only normal human language. And then the second thing is to come up with an example or an analogy of some sort from day-to-day life. And it doesn't matter how you prioritize these, whichever manifests in your mind first, you do that and then the other one. Third, I fact check and compare with the original. That's why I always make sure to have the source laying around. Fourth, as I'm checking, if I find an error, I'd correct it. And correcting doesn't mean that I delete my own take and copy paste from the original in its place, but rather think, how can my interpretation represent the original idea more clearly while remaining factually true? And this may take a little bit of time. It's equal parts critical thinking plus creativity. The examples and analogies I would push only as far as they make sense, and for the paraphrased version of the original, I'll be checking for two things: simplicity and length. Usually simplicity takes care of itself once we get rid of the technical jargon. However, in our effort to use simple language, sometimes our explanations get wordy, which still messes up with our understanding. So aim for keeping things short and sweet. Fifth, after corrections, I would rewrite my own explanation one more time, but from memory, without looking at the previous one. Then six, I'd fact check and edit again if necessary. And then for step 7, on my next learning session, I would begin by recalling my last explanation once more from memory. So following this process allows me several things. First, it allows me to utilize active recall immediately during the learning session. Second, by explaining things in my own words and coming up with examples, this is a form of deliberate practice. So I'm deliberately working on understanding things, which helps me internalize the information that much faster. Because of that, third, I don't spend too much time repeating the same thing. I have a limited amount of reps, but they're all high quality. And because of all of that, fourth, I have time to cover more items per learning session. So my invitation to you now is put a 20-minute timer, give the sequence a go, have some fun.